You moving in today? Us tomorrow? You moving in?
Yes.
Good luck.
All right. We should be live. What's up, Facebook family? And I don't know how to share this way. So I'm going live on my computer. With my hubby. Say what's up, Bishop.
Hey.
You right here. That's the camera right
Hey.
there. All right, here we go. We're going to be talking about parenting as a partnership. I'm hoping that this works. I'm going live on my screen and trying a different method. So, I wonder, can I share? Let me see. You have your phone?
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure drop it down at the bottom.
Down at the bottom? Can I share?
I shared it. Well, I did it.
You did? I don't know how to share, but I'm hoping I'm live, though. I can't tell.
Can you share from here?
Where? From right there? Nope. I don't know how. But let's just talk. You ready? Because I know you have a busy schedule. So let's talk. I hope people jump on this live with this.
Click on the top right hand side of it. Up top, right there.
Right here? Right here?
Can you share from there?
Nope. I don't know how. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go live. I mean, we're already live, so let's go ahead. Let's talk. I have my hubby with me on today, and we've been talking for the last 3 days about parenting is a partnership. So if you're on Instagram, you're watching. If you're on here, you're watching. We've been talking about parenting is a partnership. And so I wanted to bring my hubby on with me. So if you're on, I can't see your comments. I don't know. I'm trying a new way, trying a new system. So, Bishop, let's talk. We've been talking, and let me know if you guys can hear me. I see some people on. Can you kind of heart it up or put it in the comments? Good afternoon. Hello. Thank you, Lady Charlotte. Can you hear us? Let me know if you can hear me, if you can hear me, if you can hear me. I don't know how to share like this, but we're going to talk. So here we go. Bishop.
Yes, ma'am.
We've been talking for the last couple of days about parenting is a partnership. So I want you to we've been talking about Team Harden, you know, the importance we hear you. Awesome. Thank you, Lady Charlotte. So here we go. Awesome. Thank you, Sister Lee.
Yeah, we've been dealing with this piece. I've been enjoying it. It's kind of been allowing us to reminisce on where we come from, where we are. I think we're in the heart of parenting. 18-year-old. We have a 16-year-old, and we have a 12-year-old. So I think we're in the heart of it, and we realize that there is no manual.
Nope.
There's no manual to parenting. There's no manual on how to deal with your children, with each child, and there's no manual on how to deal with each other as you deal with children.
No.
But there is a great tool.
Right.
Write that down. Write that down. If you're writing down, this is a good point to take a note. There's no manual, but there are good tools. And the number one tool is communication. You have to communicate. You got to talk. It is impossible with any partnership. You gave up on
yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is impossible with any partnership not to communicate. So the greatest tool that there's giving is communication. You have other tools that's out there, you know, books and stuff that you can use. But a book isn't a manual; it's just a tool. You can only and listen. A tool is used to tweak your situation. Mm-hmm. So I don't care if somebody wrote a book and they called it the manual. Consider it the Harden Marriage Survival Guide, the manual. It's only a tool. It's a tool. And listen. A tool is used. Listen to me. This is good. A tool is used to make small, minor adjustments to your machine or to your marriage or to your children. So you listen. Don't take what we say and go make major changes. We're just a tool, and you make minor tweaks to see how it works. If it don't work, come back and try again. So that's what we want to say. Number one. So I think Pastor T is gonna get you got together, baby.
Yep, I'm just sharing it. Okay. But go ahead.
All right. So number one. So we talked about parents partnership, and we ended off on the last piece of dealing with. I'm sorry, Pastor T.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
So to make sure all the technology is right. Yeah. So we ended off dealing with how we became Team Harden. Team Harden. Somebody say, type in the thing here, Team Harden. Team Harden.
And I would add, whatever your team is, and what we're talking about today, if you saw the other videos, we're dealing with the fact of the importance of becoming a team against these children to be trying to play us like a bad habit. So we're kind of dealing with that. But go ahead, Bishop, my bad.
So Team Harden. So what happened? Why we became Team Harden? I told y'all in the last video, we had a situation where my daughter used my wife and me against each other. And we knew then that day that the only way we're gonna survive this post toddler stage, this teenage, this preteen and teenage stage of these great manipulators, only we're gonna survive it. We have become Team Harden,
right?
And we are the original Team Harden. What's Team Harden? That's me and my wife. And I called myself telling my children. I would hear my children hear me this way. My children were slapping my wife. I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Don't talk to my wife like that."
Right.
And my wife was catching my children snapping at me, and she said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't talk to my husband like that."
Right.
Because we realized, listen, Linda, listen. You have approximately 18 years with these children. They're gone.
Yeah, buddy.
Only thing we're left with is each other.
Right.
And if they scarred and damaged my marriage because of them being selfish, and remember my blended families, it has nothing to do with stepchildren.
True.
Children gonna be children, and they're gonna play you for who you are, no matter if you step parent or not.
Right.
And listen, and moms, you have a natural instinct to be protective. Daddy have a natural instinct to be, disciplined. And listen, even in our natural instinct to be protective, sometimes you harder on some children. Even in your natural instinct to be a disciplinary, you're soft on other. And it don't matter if you step or not.
Right.
So we have to realize that after this said and done, whether it's against in-laws, Holy Ghost moment.
Hello.
Whether it's against family members, no matter who it is, we have to realize at the end of the day, if we're going to deal with each other and survive post-children's and have a good marriage, we have to become Team Harden.
No matter what.
It's me and her against the world.
Right.
Write that down.
Right.
It's me and her. So your team is whoever you are. We got Sister Lee. So your elder Lee will be Team Lee. We have Miss McCullum.
Charlotte.
Miss Charlotte. You and your husband be Team McCullum. It's me and you against the world. When you're at out events, listen, I used to always try to protect people and look. I say, now I don't protect people no more. I protect my wife.
Right.
Even in her wrong, we'll deal with it when we get home.
We'll deal with it when we get in the car.
In the car.
Even with these kids, because these kids will make you feel like, and the reason why we did this is because, we're starting school and, you got now, they're kind of letting up here in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, these kids are back in sports. They're back in school. They're doing this thing. So we got to realize that at the end of the day, we got to become a team together so that these kids won't play us against each other. We got to become partners against, I hate to say this, against the children.
Yeah.
Because these kids will play you, as I said the other day, like a funky piano. They will play you against each other, and now y'all are arguing because of something that they've done. And I'm not saying that the kids are like Chucky. I'm just saying to be, a team. Like, we got to be a team together. But yeah.
And listen, we love the children.
Yes, we do.
And that's the reason why we got to become a team.
Yes.
It's our love for the children
right.
will cause us to create problems elsewhere.
Right.
And so I realized that my wife favors some of the children. She realized I favor some of the children.
Right.
But we have to favor our marriage more than the children. We have to put something there that counterbalances.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put some reality there. When we do marriage counseling, we'll tell the husband that we don't care about you. And we'll tell the wife, we don't care about you. We care about the marriage. We have to put something tangible there that's more important than what we do. We do love you, but we love your marriage more than we love you.
Right.
And so we do love the children, but we love our marriage more than that's good. That's good. I'm going to stop right there and say it again. Yeah. I love my marriage more than I love my children.
Oh.
I love my marriage more than I love my in-laws. Why? Because if we take care of the marriage take care of the children.
Amen.
If we take care of the marriage, what if I hate my marriage and I love my children? I may get a divorce and now my children going to suffer.
Right.
And so we have to actually put it in verbal content that I love my marriage. It's me and my wife against my children. So now my child may want to do something unhealthy that my love for my child may want to let her do it, but it's not. It's going to create problems in my marriage.
True.
It's going to create problems in marriage if I let her wear these skin tight pants that the daddy don't want her to wear. It's going to affect my marriage if I let my daughter or my son get away with something.
Come on.
I love my marriage too much, and so when you coming against my wife, you coming against my marriage.
Come on.
Because my marriage.
I don't care. I don't care if it's step. I don't care if it's blended family. It's just learning that no matter what, we're going to stick together, regardless if this is a blended family, because both of us come from blended families. Our children don't have a blended family, but we come from blended families. And it does not matter if you have a blended family or not. It's understanding that at the end of the day, it's us against whoever, however, whenever, and whatever we need to deal with, we're going to deal with together, and we're going to correct each other together, but not in front of the kids. Why can we tell you that? Because we done it in front of the kids, and now the kids are playing us against each other.
Let me tell you a secret. Listen, so we've already made up our mind that we're not going to leave each other. We're going to hang in there.
Yeah.
Your children have already picked which one they're going to stay with if y'all separate.
Oh!
They've already made their mind up. I'm staying with mama. And listen, y'all can have a great marriage, but they've already made their mind, if this don't work out, I know who I'm going to live with.
Come on, Bishop.
And so they're going to play the side of the one they decide to live with.
Yeah.
And so, guess what? You should make your mind up. If this don't work, me and your mama going to survive. I'll survive y'all.
Yeah.
And so we pick, since you pick who you're going to be with, when it's over with, I pick who I'm going to be with, and I choose my wife.
Look, I'm going to say that we had a meeting. So we have what we call meetings with our children. And so I remember it was a couple of years ago, we sat down with them and we let them know, because we had we call it heated fellowship. Somebody type heated fellowship. What's up, Lady Kelly? Somebody type heated fellowship. Heated fellowship. Listen, heated fellowship meaning that we have heated moments. We don't get into fights. We have heated moments where I get mad at him, I may go off. So in this particular heated fellowship, while we're having this heated fellowship, where the kids started going separate ways, and one came in the room with me and one went in the room with daddy. And so we realized that in that moment, we needed to sit down and have a talk with each other. And then we had to have a talk with the girls. And so by having this talk with the girls, we sat down to let them know. And I wish one of you were there with a fly on the wall when we told each other this. I don't know if you remember. We said, girls, we want to let y'all know we're not going nowhere. Daddy and mama going to be together no matter what. So at that moment, they had to realize, wait a minute, which side are we going to pick? Because there is no side, right? There is no side. And I think once you realize that,
and
my
daughter realized that day.
Excuse me.
Listen, because we're not leaving each other, and she playing games. And I told her one day, I said, you almost got put out.
Excuse me.
I said, you almost got put out. It messed her up for about a month. For about a month, she asked us, she said stuff like, was y'all really going to put me out?
Right.
I said, you almost got put out. And I told her, I won't put you out. But if there was a moment I would have put you out, it would have been then. Because I choose my wife. My wife choose me. And when you realize now, when you put the tangible item there, that I choose Team Harden. Team Harden, the original Team Harden, is not Kiana. It's not Alana, not Madison. Matter of fact, I got 3 daughters. So one day, they may not be Team Harden. They don't get married. They ain't gonna change.
Right.
And I'm gonna teach them to become teamed up with your husband.
Right.
So when it's over
and done, even against us.
Yes.
Teamed up against us.
When it's over and done, it's me and my wife. And so when we approach that, I do love my baby. Listen, my baby. I'm talking about Madison Marie Harden. I love my baby. And listen, and sometimes I want to let her get away with stuff, but not at the cost of my marriage.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Listen, my wife, I know her. She want to let Kiana get away with stuff.
Excuse me.
But not at the cost of my marriage.
Right.
When you start putting your marriage out there as the cost of a decision, do you choose your marriage over your desire?
Listen, I want to say this, man. I think what happens is we don't realize that we will.
She said, "Wow, mine almost died over my marriage."
Sure, we've been there when we allow children to get in the middle of the marriage. It can damage the marriage. It can destroy the marriage when we allow children, and not just children. That's anybody, to get in the middle of a marriage, man. It could destroy your marriage. But it's learning not to allow, the kids or anybody to untie this marriage, to keep this marriage a bond, keep this marriage together.
Yeah, and listen, and I can't talk about blended families. This is
Come on, blended families.
Bishop, what makes you such an expert? I was part of many blended families.
Come on.
And so let me tell you a secret. So even the blended families, right? So you gotta set the stage up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I love you as my daughter. I love you as my son.
Mm-hmm.
And if the husband got children, I love you as my daughter. I love you as my son.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta make it plain. But I love my marriage more than I love y'all.
That's good.
I didn't say I love my wife. I love my wife.
Oh, that's good.
I love my wife different than I love y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I love my wife. The wife said, I love you. I love my husband, but I still love my marriage more than I love y'all. And they're going to look confused. They're going to go back and tell their mama. They're going to go back to their daddy. He said he loved his wife. No, I didn't say I love my wife more than I love you.
I said I love my marriage.
I love my marriage because my marriage is going to outlive my children.
There's a scripture in the Bible that says that the fullness of marriage. I don't know the exact scripture, but it's saying the fullness of marriage. And we always talk about that. I think we talked about it in our book, is the fullness. Understanding the fullness of marriage is being able to understand that everything and everybody is connected to the marriage. So if we mess up the fullness of this marriage and we allow the children to mess up the fullness of the marriage, we just allowed them to destroy something that God has put together.
But that's it. And can I tell you, I love my marriage more than I love me?
Come on, Bishop.
I used to like to drink, but what made me stop drinking was my marriage. My wife told me that, hold up, if you're going to drink like that, I can't hang out. I didn't stop drinking for my wife.
That's good.
I stopped drinking for my marriage. Because if I would have stopped drinking for my wife, I would have been angry with her. But I knew my marriage was more important than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed my marriage. And so therefore, to maintain the marriage, to maintain the relationship, to maintain the family, all that comes with the marriage. What's the marriage? The marriage is everything connected to the husband and wife. Because once T.D. Jakes said it best, everyone is connected, the friends, the family, the children, the jobs, everything. When you get a divorce and you take a knife and you cut this marriage, everyone who's connected bleeds.
Come on today.
So when you get a divorce, you're separating the children, you're separating everything from it. Now you have caused everyone connected to your marriage to bleed. So when I salvage a marriage, I salvage everything connected to it. So that's valuable to me in the parenting partnership, dealing with discipline, emotions, relationships, everything you deal with. You gotta put something tangible out there that we're surviving this thing with.
And if you saw the video, you saw us talk about the different ways that we, there's different children. So you have different children with different personalities. And because they have different personalities, everybody has to be disciplined in a different way. And we kind of dealt with that on yesterday, which made us bring this here to a close on the importance of making sure we stick together no matter what. Parenting is a partnership. We're getting ready to start a year that we've never seen before. We're getting ready to do something we've never done before. And so with that being the case, if the parents are together, even when it comes to going to the school and partnering together, letting the people in the school system see that you are there to support them and to support your children, all at the same time. But learning that if we do this as a partnership, it will make it so much easier to do what we're doing and learning our lanes in what we do. Yeah. And that way we're not, you know what I'm saying, going against each other with different lanes, knowing who we are in the marriage when it come down to parenting. I know that I'm the hardcore.
With each child.
Know who you are with each child. Bishop with Kiana, she's the oldest, so he's real hard on her. I'm not hard on Kiana because I understand Kiana. It's just she's a lot, whatever. I understand it, and she's a lot like her mom. So I get her and I understand her.
I understand Madison.
And he understands our baby girl. Me, I'm hard on Madison because I see what he allows her to get away with. But she, you saw how I snuck that in there. But she needs that because with me, I'm on her like this, like pick up this, because she's a girl. She's going into teenage, she's a teenage girl. But the same way I am with Madison is the same way I was with Kiana. So I realized that, okay, I have to be just as hard on Madison as I was Kiana. Now, Alana is at that age to where it's like I understand her, but she gotta watch her mouth. Like it's the slick tongue for me. So I can't do the slick tongue of children. And so I'm learning her on that level. And Kiana has a slick mouth too. So I gotta remind her, hey, watch the tone in your voice.
Every child is different.
Every child is different.
You can't take the cookie cutter out and deal with every child because it's the same pattern you use with one, you can't use with the other one.
Right.
And I throw this in there too, real quick. Note-taking moment.
Note-taking. Leaders are note-takers and note-takers are leaders.
This note-taking moment. Listen, don't wait until it happens before you plan for it.
Ooh, that's what we messed up.
In some ways we did, some ways we didn't.
Yeah.
Look at everything out there. Especially if you a new parent and your child is the cute baby and all, and my baby ain't gonna do nothing wrong, forget that. That child's gonna turn into a teenager one day, and you're gonna literally have a bat in your hand trying to figure out, am I gonna go to prison or not?
Right.
So this is what you do. What are all things out there? A thief. Children steal, children lie, children cheat. Children choose to become homosexuals. Children choose to, have sex. Children choose to have drugs. Make a list.
Come on.
Of everything your child could do. And y'all need to sit y'all behinds down and talk about how we will respond when it happens.
Yes, we had a conversation about 10 years ago. How would we respond if this was to happen with the oldest? How will we respond if this was to happen with the middle girl? How will we respond? We have 3 girls. How will we respond with the baby girl? We sat down 10 years ago, which prepared us for some things that we didn't expect, but because we had the conversation of how we would respond if A, B, C, D, and E was to happen. And when you, as a parent, prepare yourself, even now, we're preparing ourselves. How will we respond if some things happen with our oldest? How will we respond to, because every kid is different.
And
so you got to know how to respond.
And you got to be like Santa Claus. You got to make the list and you got to check it twice.
Right,
you gotta
come on
check it
here.
3 times, because you got to remember yourself. Hold up, what did we say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when it comes, hold up, don't let we stop. Let's run right now and look and see what we said we was going to do, because it has happened. The things that we never thought would happen happened. What happened if they get pregnant? What happened if they do get a abortion? Look at all these things, man, because all those things are there that you possibly can run into. And we live by this motto: note-taking moment. People don't plan to fail; they fail to plan.
Yes.
Your children are the most what's the word I want to use for? Variable thing you're going to have in your life. Yes. They're very variable. You don't know what's going to happen. They're not constant. They're very variable. And that with this variable option, you have to plan for every possible outcome.
Come on.
And listen. No taking moment. Just because you plan on me, you're going to be able to do it. But at least you have a starting point of an opportunity.
Yes. At least you have something down that you can try to plan about, And I know, we're taught in the church, you pray and you seek the Lord, and that's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with praying, and you pray and you cover and you pray for God to deliver your babies and all this great stuff. But you gotta know what are the actions that you're gonna take, besides just praying. What else are you going to add to the table besides just praying? How are we going to discipline this situation? How are we going to, what are we going to do? Right now I'm like, okay, I know we got to teach one of my babies how to drive, which is the baby girl. But Lord have mercy. What are we going to do if she one of them? You don't know. So you got to prepare yourself.
And listen, I'm going to say this here too, right? So we planned for one of my children. I won't put my children out there. And you can guess and wonder and try to figure it out, break your mind.
But we're here to help.
Yeah, we're not going to put our children out there. But one of my children, we planned, okay, if this happens, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to say it. This is what we're going to say. This is what we're not going to say. And what we didn't plan for our child to come to us one day when we was out to eat with her and say, hey, this happened. And I already dealt with it. I already figured it out. I overcame it. And this is where we're at now.
And we were like...
We're stuck because we talked about what we're going to do if it happened. We got to deal with it. But we didn't talk about what we're going to do if they figured it out already and they overcome it. And they never told us about it in the first place. We told them about it in retrospect. We so dumbfounded. We was like, oh. Okay.
And all we could do was leave the table and say, at least we taught her well, but do we punish her for what she did? Or do we just kind of let it go? And it's just one of those. You got to know that as a parent, as much as you give and you're there and you're partnering together and they see you working as a team and they see that, you got to know what you instilled in them is what they're going to use hopefully later, just like we did. You know, there's a lot of things my mom instilled in me, a lot of things his dad instilled in him, you know, that we use for later. So it's just knowing that you got to prepare for your kids, man. You never know, and you cannot put them on a pedestal, and you can never think that they will not do it. Go ahead.
And I'm going to say this here real quick. Mm-hmm. This is probably another topic, another time.
Look, wait. Somebody say, lesson from my husband. We have deal with each one of them differently because yes, my daughter has the mouth of, okay, come on here, Lady Shaw. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is probably one for another time, but I got to throw it out there because it's so important dealing with children, especially this day and age. Stop raising your children to deal with you. Raise your children to deal with the world. I found out, you know, a lot of people, and sometimes I think we even did, we raised our children and we were so protective of them because we dealt with them. But now my child has to go to college. She has to deal with a boss one day. She has to deal with, you know, people at the grocery store. And I'm going to ask you a question. You raise your child with an attitude. What if your child give someone an attitude that you told her is okay to give? And now she got to work on her job. Now she has to go to college. Now she has to do things. Will your child get rejected because of the way you raised her? Or did you raise her not to deal with you, but you raised them to deal with the world? Because some of y'all are very passive and you're okay with how your child talk to you. But what if they take the same talk and tone with a teacher? What if they take the same talk? Because you can protect them not because you go to school, but you can't protect them in college. We're learning now. I got raised my child because I was very passive with one of my children. And I would do everything for them. But that did nothing for them for the world.
That's good.
And I'm realizing now we have got to start not raising our children to deal with us. We got to raise our children to deal with the world.
That's good.
When they go to the store, are they getting in line and waiting? Or are they being aggressively, but they've been respectfully aggressive? Are they speaking up for themselves? Watch them and see. Are they going to survive in the real world with their personality? Because just because that's their personality, it's your job to mold that personality to survive. Don't
That's
just
good.
accept it who they are.
Oh, that's so good. I don't even know what to say after that.
It's a lot of things that I wish we can come
back.
Because
I wish we could come back and we could fix. It's a lot of stuff now that we're teaching our girls that I wish we would have taught them, you know, years ago. Because like he said, our oldest is on her way to college. Our youngest girl is just now learning, you know, that you got to take yourself to the school. You got to, you know, driving yourself there. You know, now it's like, okay, now I don't want to just teach you how to drive to school and drive back home. But I want you to also be aware of your surroundings. I want you to also be aware, you know, when you walk to the car, you know, make sure you pay attention because there's people out here that are taking kids left and right. And you're out here by yourself. It's learning to let them go and learn life. And that's what we are today, is learning that there's some things that we miss with the first two that we don't want to miss with the baby girl.
Yep.
We don't want to miss the opportunity of teaching her how to handle the world. Because especially if I can talk to every pastor and every leader, especially when we as pastors and leaders get caught up in the church world.
Yes.
And everything is about church and everything is about, you know, getting to know the Lord. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not debunking or you know, I'm not coming against that, but what I'm saying is that, okay, even though we're in this church world, I also want to teach you about the world. Let me also add, you know, because there's some things that they tap into, that they're listening to, that they're watching, that their eyes are seeing spiritually, that they're, you know what I'm saying? That they, if you don't pay attention as a parent, you'll miss that.
It's almost like we need to come back and do a video of some things you need to make sure, because I'm finding out right now, some things you need to make sure your child knows before they come out your home. You know, my child graduated, she went across the stage, and I had two fears. Number one, man, what if she come to me and tell me that, you know, I'm leaving, I got plans to go ahead and leave.
Yeah.
But I also had a fear of, did I give her everything she needed? Do she know how to check the tire pressure? Do she know how to go to the bank? Do she know how to talk to someone? You know, my daughter, does she know how to make a phone call? If she get pulled over a cop, do she know how to respond to a cop? Not just with the black thing. Do she know how to respond? Does she know how to give them the insurance card?
Good.
Does she know how to, you know, give them the driver license? You know, if you have a wreck, what do you do? Yeah, you know, so many things that, like, did I teach them? You know, if you're about to get robbed, what do you say? You know, it's so many different things. So we are so busy, just cute girl, oh, she all right, oh, she got an attitude, oh, she cuss sometimes. No, how does the world respond to your child? Do that. That's your homework. That's your homework. Go through each one of your children and say, how will the world respond to my child?
Yeah.
And do I need to start making some adjustments with these tools that I'm getting?
Yeah.
How would the world deal with that little one with the mouth?
Yeah, with that fly mouth.
How would the world deal with the one who's very passive, very passive?
Ooh.
Will the world take advantage of that child?
Yeah.
And you don't have to make major adjustments, just start making small adjustments now.
Yeah.
Small adjustments. Like, baby, hold up, you're being kind of passive. I told my oldest was very passive. And she let the world run over her at school. And I started telling her, hold up, you can't do that. And I was so proud of her. She went to a college camp. And she was at this college camp, and everybody else was forcing everybody to do things. She told me, Dad, I did my own thing. I stood on my own feet. I said, those tools work. Those small, minor adjustments. Because back in high school, junior high, she followed the crowd.
And one of the things she said, and this one you know that you're instilling in your children, because one of the things she said, I just went out and I just thought about what you said, Daddy. I was present in my present.
Present in my present.
I was able to be present and just look and enjoy the land and enjoy, where we were and enjoy. It's those things that you're going to instill in them, but it's so much that we do miss.
And
we miss out on.
Feed it to them. Little bit by little bit.
Say that again. Don't what?
Don't beat it into them.
Don't beat it into them.
My dad told me a story about a dog. I know we got to go. My dad told me a story about a dog years ago. He said how this one dog was very skinny and looked like he'd been eating scraps his whole life. And so the man saw the dog and he was really scrawny and he threw a steak at the dog and the dog took off. Even though the steak was better than all the scraps he ate, the fact he threw it at him, it caused him to rebel. But he said, take a little bit of that steak off and feed it to that dog, little bit by little bit, and that dog will eventually leave the bone and come to the steak. Don't try to force your child overnight. You look at the child and say, oh my God, you're not ready for the world. You try to force so much at them. No, start feeding it to them little bit by little bit. But people don't care how much you know until you know how much you care. Yeah. Tell them why. Explain to them, little baby, you can't just do this because people were going to do this. You can't do that because people are going to do this. Feed it to them little bit by little bit. Little bit by little bit, and before you know it, they'll slowly start evolving. Yeah. But if you say, you got to stop being so weak, you got to stop being so selfish, you got to stop being, now you just created a problem.
Yeah. And I think communication is the key.
Yeah.
Even with your children, it's just learning. We didn't get it until I think Kiana was 10 or 11, because before that we was beating it into them. Like, we're going to beat your tail for everything. But we realized that, wait a minute, we need to start communicating and explaining why we do this and why. Not that we have to. Come here, old school parents. Not that we have to explain, but I want to explain because I want you to be ready for the world. I want to explain because I want to let you know, and I let it be known, I don't have to explain this, but let me explain why you're not allowed to go to Joe Bob's house. Let me explain why Sally Sue cannot stay at your house. Let me explain this, and it's up to you on what you decide to do with that. So I think that's very, very important. So I pray, because I know Bishop got to get back.
I'm going to say one thing for
Go ahead.
You have what he said. I got a closing statement.
Go ahead.
I got one closing statement. Stop telling yourself you owe anything to your children.
Okay.
You don't owe anything to your children except for three things. I tell my children is that the only thing I have to give you, number one, is a place to live, food to eat, and love.
Say that again.
That's all I owe them. I don't owe them cell phones.
A place to live.
A place to live, food to eat, and love.
Okay.
I got to provide for you. Well, I'm going to say it like this better. I got to provide for you, protect you, and pray for you. I got to do those things. And that kind of accumulate everything together. Provision, protection, and what I say?
Provide, protect, and pray.
Pray. I got to do those things. Provision, protection, and praying. So you don't owe them anything else. Everything else is a plus. So if you scale everything back and then ask yourself, okay, am I providing for them? Am I praying for them? Am I protecting them? Now, everything else, ask yourself, is it that necessary to give them everything else? Stop letting your children push you into all these things so you get caught up in all these other things to where you're not giving them what's necessary. Now, ask yourself, everything else that I'm giving them, is it helping them or hurting them?
Come on.
Talk to your spouse about that. Partner up about that. And see now, are we preparing them for the world? Or are we preparing them just to like us and be happy with us?
Yeah. And don't allow your kids as parents, and this is something we've done, to allow the guilt trip of what you're not doing for them. You're doing more than you can ever imagine for your children. And especially if you're that parent that you're there, you're at all the games, you're there, you're doing everything that you can. Don't allow a child to play the guilt trip on you on purchasing or buying their love. You do everything you can.
We could be on all day to deal with the fact how we bought 3 gifts for Christmas.
Come on.
Because we were broke one Christmas one time. We were so broke to where all we can afford to go to the store and get 3 pieces of Christmas gifts from Dollar Store. We came back and wrapped them up. And we told ourselves from that day on out, if I ever get this broke again, I know I can at least afford 3 gifts. We're never doing anything else more. We're not trying to keep up with anybody else. We can
Oh man, come on. And I think that's the thing as parents. It's like, I want to keep up with everybody else. No, I'm going to get you what you need. And that's going to be all year round. All year round, you're going to always have what you need. You're going to always have what is available to you. And I may even do extra. Yeah. But there are some things that we're learning now in this season of parenting is that you're going to have to work for that. Yeah, you're going to have to work for that right there. The more we give, the more you're going to have to work for it. So it's learning that.
So we gotta go. I gotta go. But
thank you, Bishop. Can y'all heart it up for Bishop? I thank him so much, y'all. He's on a break right now, so he just jumped on with me while he's on break. But I thank you, Bishop. Any last words? Let me tell you something about this man. I love him so much, and that ain't nothing to even play about. I love him because I love his wisdom. He has such an old spirit. And so I wanted to bring him on with me to talk about this particular topic about parenting, because this is who I parent with, and we do okay. We're not perfect, and we make a lot, man. If you only knew all the mistakes, it'll take us all day to talk about the mistakes we made as parents, and we're still making as parents. We're only a mother and father to an 18-year-old once. We're only a mother and father to, a new 16-year-old once. So it's just kind of learning that. But I wanted to bring him on just to share his wisdom and the things that we kind of do. I will say this, and don't leave yet. I will say this, is that the importance of sitting down and meeting with your children. Having that conversation and just talking and taking the phones away. We call it no phone zone. Can you type that real quick? No phone zone. Allowing that time, and that goes for you and them, to allow that time together. Sundays after church are considered our no phone zone, depending on, how bad it is. But it's what we do. We do Big Brother together. And so making that time to spend with your children, to have, because they grow up so fast, just to have that present time with them. Any last words you got to say, Bishop? And I'm going to let you go.
I just say, just realize, my wife, she gives me too much credit sometimes because I was a horrible father. I was a great provider. I was a great protector.
You weren't horrible. You just wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was providing food, and I was providing clothing and stuff like that, but I wasn't present. And so she taught me how to be present. So realize, I don't care how great your husband is, or I don't know how to put it. Yeah, I don't know how great your husband is. I don't care how great the wife is. Remember this here: each one of y'all will be perfect somewhere, but imperfect in another. It's your job to feed them what they're lacking and make them listen. My wife made me listen and said, "Baby, your daughters need you. You can't just be so much of a disciplinary to where you're not a daughter's dad." She made me a daughter's dad. Yeah. Speak up. Don't take no for an answer. That's your baby. You're the only protector you have for your baby.
That's good.
And it's your job to make your husband listen. It's your job to make your wife listen. And my wife didn't let go. I'm a very, very stubborn guy. And she kept feeding it. Listen, even though he may not respond, keep saying it. Yeah. Keep saying it. Speak up for your child, even if you don't speak up for yourself. That's another video, speaking up for yourself. But speak up for your child. Speak up for your child. Let the person hear you consistently until you see a difference. If you let go, you failed your child.
Last thing to single people, because everybody's not married that's going to watch this video, replay or whatever. What would you say to that single person? Last thing on that.
I would say this here. You fight to put your father or mother in your child's life. Even if your child don't know about all the fighting you're doing, you fight. And when it's all said and done, at least you know you did everything you could to make sure that presence is there. You don't try to be mom and dad.
Oh, that's good.
Just be you.
Yeah.
Because you can't be both. I don't care how much you try to tell yourself. You try to put the dad in life, you try to put the mom in life, but at the end of the day, you be you. God will fill the gap.
Yes, he will.
God will fill the gap.
Yeah. One more time, heart it up for Bishop. Thank y'all so much for rocking out with us. My goal is to try to do this more. I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to try. Love you. Thank you, Bishop. Thank y'all for rocking out with us. Thank you for being a part of this. And I pray that as you start this school year, as you know, walking into this new year with your children, that you're able to be present with your children. They grow up so fast. They need us just like we needed our parents. Make sure you're there for them. Make sure you're their listening ear for them. Make sure, I don't care what age group they're in. I don't care from 5 all the way. It's some things I wish I could go back and do. Listen, Simone, I love you too, baby. There's some things I wish I could go back and do, man. Don't miss the moment with your children. Can somebody type that real quick? Don't miss the moment with your children. Enjoy every moment. Take that time, because they will leave and no longer be there, and they grow up so fast. And they're gone. They're gone. You want to make sure you just seize every moment that you have with your children. So I pray that we said something today that would encourage you and to remind you that parenting is a partnership, to be able to partner together. Until next time, if you don't remember anything else, every woman that's watching, always remember to see yourself through God's eyes and not people, because you are a product of grace. Until next time, stay blessed in all that you do. Bye-bye. Love you much.